Welcome back, everyone, to Burton and Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. We're here at the whiteboard with Ernie Adams, Christian Fauria, talking jumbo people.
Jumbo people.
Big
people. Fat people.
Big people.
Just say it the right way.
Offensive line.
Big people, right. And so what we've seen here doing and what the Patriots have been good mixing in is bringing in an extra offensive lineman and putting them either a tight end or in the backfield, which gives you a little more bulk, you have more big guys blocking on the running game. And so the first thing you got to remember is when you come in as an extra offensive lineman going to becoming an eligible receiver position,
you got to check in.
You have to report to the referee.
How do you do it, Ernie?
Right here, my number, and the referee will make the announcement. So the defense has no question about who the eligible receivers are.
So there goes 74 is eligible.
Right.
Yes.
And you have to report on every play. If you're in there for 10 plays, it can't be just, I'm in there and, I report once. You have to report to the referee every
Hold on.
So even field goals and PATs.
Right.
Hold on. So 74 stays in the huddle for the next play. You still have to go back to the referee and say, I'm still in the game?
Yes.
I'm still reporting.
I didn't know that.
You definitely do. And
I thought it was once you just checked in.
No. And you can't just then go all of a sudden go back to being an ineligible receiver. Once you're reported in as eligible, you have to leave the game and then you can come back in unless there's a timeout or something where the game officially stops.
Yeah.
But you have.
So this 74 guy, even though he's an offensive lineman and playing tight end or whatever he's playing, he can't slide down.
Right.
And you can stay in the game, but he can stay in the game, but he's got to let the guy go, no, I'm not eligible anymore?
No, he has to go out of the game for a play.
Unless there's a timeout.
Unless there's a timeout.
Interesting.
So and the reason, of course, is so you can't go playing games.
Yeah.
And there'd be some
God forbid you try to trick the other team.
Right. So that's the whole deal. When you see it on TV, and the referee is saying 74 is eligible, it's the defensive team has to know who the eligible.
The crazy
receivers
thing
are.
is sometimes, Ernie, I'm sure you've seen this. I've seen guys report as eligible right up to the ref, and then they still miss it. And they still like, wait a second. I literally
the refs miss it.
If you have to tell the ref, if you don't tell the ref, then somebody else is going to call.
Why would you just say I just told you?
You do, but it's too late.
So what we did on this when we were practicing at the Patriots, I was the referee, and the players had to come report
this
to
during
me,
the week of practice.
To me during practice, and I always told you make sure that the referee sees you.
Yeah,
it's not just running by.
Yeah,
you make eye
no
contact.
doubt.
You make sure that referee sees you and he knows. And of course it's not in office. It's also coming in where this happens most of the time is on the field goal team. That's where you're going to
two guys.
We're going to have two guys or more.
Yeah,
depending on who you wing.
So who's this guy?
And the Patriots also do is they'll bring in 20. They'll also put in a bigger guy in a fullback. So they've had some times where they can looks like kind of old time football.
Yeah.
They've got a bigger blocker at tight end. They got a real fullback. And you say, okay, well, does the defense know these guys? It's just going to be a run. This is also putting your extra offensive lineman at tight end. When you're on play action, you have a better blocker against a lot of times the defensive end, because play action is great, but it can be a problem if you have a tight end, a real tight end, having the pass block against a top defensive end. Because Christian, as a tight end, how much time did you really get to spend on pass blocking?
Never.
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 You guys didn't practice pass blocking?
But tight ends, you should not be blocking a defensive end on your own.
Right.
You shouldn't.
But we said on our list, tight end next to quarterback is without question the most complicated position on the field.
You always said that.
Because you have to be involved with blocking with the lineman, just like an offensive lineman, and then you have to be able to run routes for the receivers.
How do tight ends not practice blocking?
You
got to block.
Pass blocking.
Pass blocking.
It's just
different.
It's you right. There's only so many hours in the day.
I have another question.
Yes.
So if both these guys are offensive linemen, does this guy have to check it and say I'm?
No. If he has an ineligible number, if his number.
Whoa. Okay.
Ineligible.
Ineligible
if
number.
his number is between 50 and 79, that's an ineligible number. The only way you can it can become eligible is if you report.
Yeah.
So they have Westover 37 at fullback, but also they've had Tonga back.
Tonga, right.
back. So you could easily listen. Particularly Sunday night, if it's a crappy night and you got to run the ball, you might have two big guys,
right?
Two guys reporting.
So both guys have to report.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So hopefully Tonga's healthy and he's ready to go.
Right.
Imagine this guy. Okay, on a ISO play, downhill, guard splits, tackle splits, and there's this ginormous hole, and there's a linebacker who's probably around 240, and he has to sit there and take on that block.
He's going to get killed.
If they do it right, he shouldn't win.
Well, but this is, the last time the Patriots played the Chargers in a home field playoff game was in 2018 when they played a lot of dime defense. So we said going into the game, we're going to make the game like the Oklahoma drill, which is just one-on-one, mano-a-mano, and we had Marcus Cannon in there blocking, 220-pound safety, and we just knocked them off the ball.
Yeah.
And you talk about mismatches, receivers against this corner. No, we had a 340-pound tackle blocking
Who could move?
blocking a 220-pound safety.
Done.
That was a mismatch.
I love it.
That's a loss.
All right.